Have you ever wondered how far you would go for a friend? Would you stand by them when everyone else has left, or would you walk away too? It's easy to call someone a friend in the good times, but what happens when life turns upside down and you're faced with the toughest decisions? True friendship doesn't always look like what you expect. It's tested in ways that may break your heart before it builds it back stronger. This story is about one such friendship, a bond tested by distance, time, and unspoken feelings. And you, my dear friend, need to hear it. Because if you think you know what friendship is, this story will change everything. You will learn that there's always more to the story, and sometimes the hardest truth you'll ever face is realizing the difference between a true friend and someone who was only there for convenience. Keep listening. This is one you cannot miss.
My name is John, and the story I'm about to tell you is one of the most painful yet eye-opening experiences of my life. I used to believe that friendship was simple. I thought it was about always being there for each other, laughing at the same jokes, and supporting one another no matter what life threw at us. But what I didn't know was that true friendship is tested in ways you could never imagine. It all started years ago with a girl named Emily. We were inseparable, like two halves of a whole. I could talk to her about anything, my dreams, my fears, my failures, and she was the same way with me. We spent so many hours together that people started to think we were more than friends, but we always just laughed it off. We were best friends, plain and simple. Everything seemed perfect, until one evening when everything started to change. We were sitting at our favorite spot in the park, watching the sunset. It was a quiet evening, and we were both silent, as if lost in our thoughts. I had no idea that Emily was about to change everything between us. She looked at me with a strange expression, almost as if she had something on her mind, but wasn't sure how to say it. Finally, she spoke. "John, I need to tell you something." Those words hit me like a cold breeze. I looked at her, waiting for her to continue, but before she did, she looked away, her voice trembling slightly. "I think we need to take a break from each other for a while." I felt as though the world around me stopped spinning. "What do you mean? Why?" I asked, my voice filled with confusion and disbelief. She looked at me and shook her head. "It's not that I don't care about you," she said softly, "but I just feel like I need some space. I need to figure things out." Those words crushed me. How could she say that? Emily, the one person I trusted with my heart, was telling me that she needed a break. I wanted to understand, but the pain in my chest made it hard to think clearly. I couldn't understand what had happened between us. One minute we were laughing, and the next she was pulling away. I tried to talk to her more, to ask her what was wrong, but she was distant. She avoided my calls, my messages, and our meetings. I could feel her slipping away, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. I spent days wondering what I had done wrong. Had I said something? Had I hurt her without knowing? I talked to James, one of our mutual friends, about it. "John, you have to understand," James said. "Emily has changed. She's not the same person you once knew. She's going through something, and it's not about you, it's about her." But even then, that didn't ease the pain. I kept asking myself, what happened to the Emily I knew? What happened to the friendship we had? Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Emily and I never spoke again. She was gone from my life, and I was left in a constant state of confusion. The pain never really went away. It was a void I couldn't fill. I tried to move on, tried to pretend like everything was okay, but deep down, I knew that something important was missing. I remember one evening, I found myself walking past our old park, the place where we had spent so many hours talking about our dreams and fears. I sat on the bench, just like we used to. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow on everything around me. It felt like Emily should have been there, right next to me. I pulled out my phone and looked at the last message she sent me, which was months ago. "I need time, John." That was all she had said. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Emily needed time for herself, to figure out who she was and what she wanted from life. But why did she have to do that alone? Why didn't she let me be there for her? I thought we were stronger than that we could handle anything together. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe I had taken our friendship for granted, thinking it would always stay the same. Maybe I wasn't the friend she needed me to be. And then I realized something. Friendship, true friendship, isn't about always being there when things are easy. It's about being there when things get hard, when life throws you curveballs that you don't expect. Emily didn't need a friend who was just a constant in her life. She needed someone who could give her space, someone who could let her grow and change, and I hadn't done that. It took me a long time to come to terms with what happened. A lot of nights spent wondering if I could have done something differently, but eventually, I understood that sometimes people grow apart. Sometimes friendships don't survive certain changes, and that's okay. People change, and the best thing you can do as a friend is to support them through it, even if that means letting them go. One day, out of the blue, I got a message from Emily. I almost couldn't believe it. It had been so long since I had heard from her. She asked if I wanted to meet. Of course, I said yes. We met at the same park, sitting on the same bench where everything had changed. She looked different, older, but still familiar. There was a long pause before she spoke. "I'm sorry, John," she said, her voice trembling. "I should have never shut you out. I needed time to figure things out, and I thought distancing myself would help, but it didn't. I lost something important in the process. And I lost you." I didn't know what to say. All the feelings I had buried deep inside me rushed to the surface. "I understand," I said, my voice hoarse. "I understand, because I went through the same thing. I didn't know how to help you. I thought I could fix everything, but I couldn't." We sat there for a while, just talking about everything that had happened. It wasn't easy, but it felt like a weight was lifted. We didn't pick up exactly where we left off, but we started building something new, a friendship that wasn't perfect, but one that was real. We had both changed, and we needed to accept that. That day, I learned that sometimes a friendship isn't about holding on tightly. It's about giving each other the space to grow, to become better versions of yourselves, even if it means going through difficult times apart. And in the end, the ones who truly matter will come back when it's time.
Ah, my dear friend, you see, that's the true meaning of friendship. It isn't always about sticking together through every little thing, but rather about knowing when to give each other the freedom to grow, even if it means taking a step back. We often think that friendships are about never letting go, but sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is to let them go for a while, so they can figure out their own path. John's story, and Emily's too, teaches us a valuable lesson. True friends are those who can understand when it's time to step back and allow the other person to breathe. Time apart doesn't always break a friendship. It can heal it. It's important to remember that friendships evolve, just as we do. So don't be afraid to let go when needed. The ones who truly matter will always find their way back. As we reach the end of this tale, I leave you with one thing. Cherish the friendships you have, but don't try to control them. Allow them to grow naturally, and when you need to, give them the space to find themselves. That, my friend, is what a true friend does. And remember, if you haven't heard the rest of the stories I've shared, don't miss them. There's so much more to learn, and who knows, maybe one of those lessons will be the one that changes your life.